was a cold, dark Christmas Eve, when Santa was about to leave. A little note about our dear Santa. He spends the year drinking beer and Fanta, does nothing else, just signs on the dole. But that's our Santa, the fat jolly old soul. Except for this one special night of the year. Breaking in houses, leaving gifts, bringing cheer. And the guy gets away with it too, 'cause Tina got a dolly and Jimmy got a choo-choo. It was on this very night when the children fell silent, yet Santa's legacy was about to turn violent, for many children across the land hope to wake up to presents like Guitar Hero Rock Band. But not tonight. The children will wake up with a fright. This year, no one will be cooking turkey or pheasants, 'cause no one in the world will get any presents. This year, Mrs. Claus will be all alone, and in a few years she'll bitch and she'll moan that how her lazy, drunk, fat husband never came back. Probably had a cheap hooker hidden in his sack. Well, although that's not entirely true, it won't stop people from feeling blue, 'cause Christmas, it'll be no more. So listen closely, and I'll tell you the score. Pay no attention to whisper and banter, tonight some bastard just shot Santa. The land was cold, the land turned dark. Who could do this? Who would knock? There were only 2 detectives up to the job. One of them, he was a bit of a knob. It was so top secret that nobody knew. Even Mulder and Scully didn't have a clue. These 2 detectives, they came from Mars. They had to put this guy behind bars. The detectives went to the crime scene. Whoever did this was really mean. Our dear old Santa's just been shot, and the killer just left his body to rot. But who could do such a thing? All he did was laugh and sing. The heat was on, the clock was ticking. These detectives wanted to get home for their chicken. The suspects came in thick and fast. Could anybody make their lies last? Santa didn't seem to have many friends. They interviewed all, tying up loose ends. Some were angry, some were scared. Some acted like they didn't even care. Who had done this dastardly deed? Was it done out of lust, malice, or greed? We narrowed it down to just a few. I hope they solve it soon. I need the loo. These detectives had cut it down to 3. I'm not sure who, as I've been for a wee. The wife, the fairy, and the elf were responsible for Santa's ill health. Let's begin with the elf story. Could he have done this for Santa's glory? This little elf worked hard all day. He was never allowed to even play. All that sweating, all that work, and Santa took the credit, the big jerk. Taking care of the other elves, and stocking up all the shelves. He always fancied Mrs. Claus, but that was kept behind closed doors. He also knew Santa was a drunk, and fighting himself is a bit of a hunk. The elf was angry, the elf was sad, but was it enough to make him that mad? Now we move on to the Christmas fairy. These are not concrete facts, so please be wary. Mitzi, she liked to put it about. She really fancied the big drunken lout. Please don't laugh at this, as it's not funny, but she even made it with the Easter Bunny. It ended bad. Here's the spoiler. She turned out to be a bunny boiler. Through the years, she went through men. In 1 month, she must have had 10. On a late night, in November, Santa was too drunk to remember. There they were, sat in a bar. This time she knew that it'd go far. He was fed up of Mrs. Claus. He wanted into Mitzi's drawers. The morning after was quite a blur. But through the North Pole there'd be a stir. Santa wanted to run and hide. There went Mitzi's chances of being his bride. All month long he hid in shame. That poor fairy was not to blame. She wanted Mrs. Claus to know, so their marriage would come to a blow. She was angry, she didn't expect him to run. Did she go out and buy that gun? Finally, this takes us to Mrs. Claus, who just learned about Santa's dirty paws. She was such the dutiful wife. She never deserved that kind of life. All she did was cook and clean, and that fat git was always mean. Many a night she'd sit and cry, 'cause he made the place like a pigsty. Then on laundry day, she found crap cream, which really made her want to scream. There it was inside his pocket. She wanted to pee in his eye socket. All these nights he was drunk in bed. She often worried that there was no lead. Santa had been playing away. Many times she thought he might be gay. Was that fairy, the cheap tramp? She wanted to push the bitch down a ramp. She was sick, she was tired. Had her patience expired? Had she had her fill? Had she had her lot? Was she responsible for Santa being shot? It was definitely one of these three. The detectives wanted to find out before tea. Just one thing they needed to find. Until then, they were in a bind. Before any of the suspects could run, they needed to find the bloody gun. They searched high, they searched low. They even looked under the snow. Then they got an anonymous call, 'cause the detectives wanted all. The caller squeaked like a mouse.
The gun was over in Mitzi's house.
They got a warrant, it was the law. The gun was inside Mitzi's drawer. She pleaded that she had been framed. She never felt so ashamed. There it was, the evidence was clear. She was the one who took our Christmas cheer. The case was over, the case was cracked. But no more Christmas, the elves all got sacked. Mitzi got her just desserts. Now only with the gods she flirts. But as the moral of the story goes, you must never mess with skanky hoes.